Yeah, it's rolling.
Okay. Some people say Chickamauga Battlefield is haunted. I'm Mike DeForest, and along with photographer Ryan Hatch, there's Ryan, we are going to uncover the legend of Old Green Eyes. You've heard of Old Green Eyes?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
That he's a ghost that wanders the battlefield?
I used to hear about him all the time. My grandmother used to tell me, creeping around the houses and stuff a long time ago.
I believe there's an energy out there, some kind of
especially on a full moon. Green Eyes will get you every time.
There are several variations on the Old Green Eyes story. In one tale, a Confederate soldier had become decapitated by a cannonball and now searches over the battlefield looking for his missing head. But perhaps the most reported story is that of a beast-like creature with glowing eyes and humongous fangs.
I remember one morning I was out there about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was walking down the road, and this apparition came out near whatever it was. As it passed me, he had on a long trench coat like a duster worn back in that day and time. But it turned slowly at me, and I turned slowly at it. And you can believe the hair on the nape of my neck stood up.
Some historians believe Old Green Eyes was actually here during the Civil War. At the Battle of Snodgrass Hill on this very spot in 1863, some soldiers reported seeing Old Green Eyes prowling over the bodies of their fallen comrades.
I wouldn't go out there looking for it because you might find it.
Although many Old Green Eyes sightings can be attributed to car headlights reflecting through the woods, others remain unexplained.
I know people don't believe in ghosts, but I know what I saw, and it wasn't human.
Well, we've been out here all night and no sign of green eyes. I guess it's just a figment of somebody's imagination. What is that, Ryan? Oh no, we better get out of here. At Chickamauga Battlefield with photographer Ryan Hatch, Mike DeForest, Channel.
This is the story of Old Green Eyes, a legend that goes way back, of a creature that stalks and roams these hills of northern Georgia in an old Civil War battlefield called Chickamauga. And we'll look at some of the stories and the history of this old battlefield and the legend behind this creature. This is the battlefield site. It's just a location in northern Georgia, and it's just a little over 9,000 acres, and it has about 1 million visitors a year visiting this place. And the ones that don't know, I'm going to show the location of it if you ever want to visit it. It's just south of Chattanooga, north of Atlanta, and it's just west of I-75. Not hard to find. Here's a map of the actual battlefield site itself. All the roads, the stops. And when you come in there, here's the visitor center. All the history you'd ever want to know about this battlefield is here. Nice place. And it has good selection of the weapons and stuff that is found on the battlefield here. You can see here's a good collection. And all these monuments on this battlefield, anywhere you go, there's a monument. Up for the North and the South. A lot of men fought and died here. This is a place to honor their bravery and their fight and their struggle. And there's a lot of nice walking trails here. It's a beautiful place. During the day, you can hear the birds singing, see deer from here to here and there, and the animals doing their thing. And the fields is just so beautiful with the green grass, with all these cannons on them and monuments everywhere you see. But after dark, it starts changing. Everything gets quiet and eerie feeling. And this is when all the reports of some strange sounds and sights began to occur. Now I'm going to give a brief summary on the Battle of Chickamauga. It was fought in 1863, September 18th, 19th, and 20th. A total of 125,000 men. And the casualties, there was a total of 35,000 men fell on this field. A lot of tragedy, a lot of death, a lot of suffering. This was a life and death struggle. Of course, battle always is. These men fought and died for what they believed in. Now, you can see here that it was such a vast battlefield line. The first 2 days was just fighting for position and stuff. The 19th got real heavy, but the 20th decided the victory of this battle. Now Longstreet had come down about on the 19th. He was detached from Lee's division and Lee's army in Virginia and come down here to fight. Well, the Union was repositioning their lines and left a gap in their line. Longstreet happened to be there at the same time he was doing that. He took advantage of it, and he went right through them. You could see it in this drawing here. And they panicked. They started retreating. And they trying to protect their rear as they withdraw. By the end of the day, here's what the lines looked like. A lot of them was retreating back towards Chattanooga, but the rear guard here, Thomas, he tried to protect them up till dark, and he did. And they tried their best to break his line, but they never did. Well, after dark, things settled down, and he withdrew with the rest of the army back to Chattanooga. Now, this was a great victory for the South. They won this battle. But the sad thing is, they didn't follow up on it. They didn't follow up on after they win this battle. They could have cut them off from Chattanooga, but that's history. And they left on the field thousands upon thousands, 5 or 6 heap deep of men died, suffering, mangled, and the carnage on this battlefield. It's just untold suffering that went on this battlefield. Now, they laid on this battlefield for months before they got them all buried. You can see here in the shallow graves, I was told they could lay them 19 deep, side by side, for 4 miles. So anywhere you walk on this battlefield, in these beautiful fields, it's nothing but a graveyard of soldiers, side by side, laying under the ground. And this is when the reports of old Green Eyes really come to light. They said that there was reports that he was found and seen among the dead on the battlefield. Don't know what he was doing. He was going from the dead from one to another. Now that's just one report. Another report is that an old legend is he was a soldier mounted on a horse that lost his head. And all they could find of him was his head. His body was completely gone. And he would travel these woods and battlefields at night looking for his body. That's all they could find was his head. And another legend is that he's always been here in these hills. Just an evil creature that's always been here from way back. Now that's the legends, 2 different legends. Which one's true, I couldn't tell you. But I've been to this park 4 or 5 times, and I personally asked the park ranger about this. But of course, they would just deny it to me. But I've read other reports and stories of park rangers that talked to other people, and told them the stories that I just told you. Now, there's a certain curve on the highway that goes through this battlefield park. And a lot of people, at least 2 or 3 people, have totaled their vehicles in this curve. They say they've seen these green eyes looking at them on the edge of the road and into that curve, and they hit a tree. Now, that's happened 2 or 3 times. That's documented. And then I have heard other reports where park rangers have actually seen this come out of the fog. It liked to stay in the fog, these old green eyes. Said it had long hair and had fangs. But there's no documented proof on nothing. This is just reports that people have seen. Said it had long hair and fangs like, and it liked to come in and out of the fog. So that's a report of that. And they said that he feeds on the dead. Still roaming these hills, looking for his next victim. So we don't know if it was because of the war or been here long since before the war. And a lot of people have documented proof of orbs all through the park. They've seen them dancing out in the fields, 2 or 3 of them. I've seen them on the walkways like you see here. I've seen them around the monuments. I've seen them all around this old battlefield. And strange noises they hear all the time, like soldiers marching, yelling, sometimes gunfire. And laid out in these fields late in the evening, people's reported hearing all kinds of weird sounds. The sounds of soldiers yelling, charging, moaning, and the sound of gunfire. So much carnage happened here. Now there's a tower here on this battlefield called Wilder's Tower. It was erected in 1904, and it was to honor Wilder's brigade. His brigade of 2,100 men held off Longstreet's men of 14,000 men long enough for the Union line to redevelop when they retreated. They saved thousands of lives doing this. Now inside this old tower, it's got steps that wind around like this. I've been in this tower about 3 times personally myself. It is a spooky place, but I never noticed nothing strange. A lot of people's committed suicide here. A lot of people's died here. A lot of people's sensed and seen weird things here. And this is the top of it, overlooking the battlefield area. Here's a better sight from the top of it. It's a beautiful tower, but it has some strange and mysterious things happen here. Now, I walked around this Snodgrass Hill, the place where these soldiers tried to crush the Union forces late in the evening on September 20th. They just didn't break that line. But I had an eerie feeling walking amongst these trees on this hill, like somebody was watching me. I wasn't alone. And I've been here late in the evening just before they closed the gates and see the mist rise off these fields. That's when it gets an eerie feeling here. The feeling and the atmosphere changes so drastically. Your mind plays tricks on you. You hear things here and there, and you just don't know what's real and what ain't. But it is a beautiful place, and it's an eerie place too. Now, old Green Eyes here, he's out there somewhere, still searching around. And the mystery goes, and the legend, that he's always been here. He feeds among the dead, looking for his next victim. So, there you go, the story on Green Eyes. I hope y'all enjoyed this little unexplained. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.